What's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I am just now noticing I don't have any earrings on, but I think we can all just do away with the facade, right? Because y'all know I be in my PJs when I do this review slash discussion slash recap every week. You guys know what we're here for. It is Wednesday. I hope you guys had a wonderful hump day and you are going to slide into the weekend ever so gently. We're here for Queen Sugar. This is season 3. We are excited about the fact that they've been picked up for a season 4. I am not going to let season 3 turn me against this show. This is a wonderful show. I'm convinced of it. And I'm just going to, like Ernest Bordelon, wrap it all up in hope and faith that it's going to get back to where it was like in season 1/2. Anyway, this episode is called The Horizon Leans Forward. And it's, for me, it was a pretty good episode. It's episode 12. There are going to be some moments here where I'm probably going to get emotional. So let's jump right into that because y'all know those tears take up a lot of time on the clock. Okay, so show opens with Charlie. She's watching a video of Aunt Vi being in like St. Joe in the morning. You remember she did the whole interview thing about Vi's prize pies. Well, it's airing. And she did mention Hollywood. You know, they were asking her what keeps her going. And she was saying outside of her Hollywood and her family, um, you know, hope and faith and love and all of that. And Charlie was watching, the tail end of it. She enjoyed it. And she was saying to Prosper that Aunt Vi's sales have shot through the roof since she did this interview. And he is on the phone with his daughter. And he's painting her this really rosy picture about getting back into his home soon. And just like, you ain't got to worry about daddy. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. And Charlie kind of looks because she's just like, I don't know if you're going back in your home soon. Like, it's a lot of variables to that. And so he tells her, she says, can I get you some breakfast before I go? And he tells her, no, he's going to meet some people down at the High Yellow. They're going to brainstorm about this council meeting that's coming up. And they're going to be talking about this prison situation. And he wants Charlie to speak. He thinks it'd be good if she were to speak on behalf of St. Joe's Parish. And she tells him she don't think it's a good idea. We all know why. Okay, so Prosper presses are on it. But you know what I'm saying? You got a good perspective. You could really, really shed some light on this situation. We need you to speak. Come on, Charlie. And she tells him that she had sold a mill. And she did it for the farmers. She explained why. And, he said, it don't matter. It don't matter. All people gonna see is that you dancing with the devil, that you in bed with the borderlines. And later on when he comes back from at the High Yellow and talking to people, he's telling her that Micah had just come in the door on the part where he was telling her. She was asking him what people were saying, and he was saying that they calling her a hypocrite. They calling you a hypocrite. And she's just like, man, she thanks him for telling her. And then, we can kind of see the disappointment even on Micah's face in this moment. So we're going to talk a little bit more about this city council meeting on the prison in a minute. Later on, we see where Romero comes over and he get a chance to meet Nova as well as Ralph Angel. He comes over to Aunt Vi's house. And it's a cute moment. I like them as a couple. I don't know why. I think because he doesn't really come asking for anything. Romero, came into Charlie's life. I think that's his name. I might just be calling him Romero because he feels like Romero to me, but um he comes into Charlie's life helping. The car was dead. Remember when she was out at the club and he helped her get it started, and then he's there for her again with the Prosper situation. And now we see with there being a personal crisis going on with Charlie and her family, he's there for her once again. I think that's why I like Romero, because he spends a lot of time helping. He's a person that adds to and not necessarily takes away from. Not that Trini was a taker when it comes to Ra, but she got her own family she got to see about. Ra need 100%. He need 100% on his team. And for me, that's Darla. Not that he should be with Darla, but I'm just saying it needs to be someone like Darla who part of her investment is going to be in him and in the border loans, okay? Someone like Darla. As opposed to Trend's investment is a lot of it, a good 80-85% of it is with her own family and her own family's business. Okay, I'm wondering if they are part of the parish. I didn't see Trina or her family at the council meeting, but I digress. Y'all know I digress a lot. Okay, so it later on we see Charlie go through a tough moment, but we're gonna talk about that. Let's move on to Nova. Nova didn't play a big role in this episode. Nova was sort of an annex character in this episode. She fluttered on the window sills. She was the fly on the wall. She took some swats. There was some arrows. She attempted to isolate and demote herself. I think she's feeling a certain amount of personal guilt about, the whole Remy situation. Aunt Vi discovering that did not make that any easier for her. But in the end, after the prison decision is made, we get to see Nova come back into the borderline fold and really undergird her sister as well as Ralph Angel. She where she had torn sort of a rip in that borderline quilt. I can see that in this moment she appears to try to patch herself back in somehow. We are going to talk about the conversation that she had with Aunt Vi in a moment. So there was that. Then we see Ralph Angel. Ralph Angel is giving us quiet confidence. He's giving us a quiet, confident calm in this episode. We don't see an angry Ralph Angel in this episode. We certainly see a disappointed Ralph Angel. We see a concerned Ralph Angel where Aunt Vi is concerned. He is worried more than anything, because all of them kind of missed the mark with Daddy, and they're sort of seeing the same patterns where Vi is concerned and he's worried about that as well. See, this is the thing about easing back up off of rage, or ridding yourself of the rage and the anger. You get to see things from a different perspective, from a different viewpoint. When you're calmer, you listen more, you see more, you are aware of more. When you're in anger, everything is sort of clouded, I think, by this fire and fury, this energy. Your ears tend to not be as open. Your eyes tend to squint. You know what I'm saying? You can hear your heart beating. You're not listening to other things that may be going on that may signal you to the fact that there is danger afoot, or there is sickness amongst someone who's your family, who's a person who's close to you. You might not hear them cry out because you in such a rage. So I'm seeing Ralph Angel open up a little bit more after he's had this conversation with Antoine. He has added to that confidence by speaking up and speaking in his truth, and just being forward and outright about Blue not being his blood baby. But I did my research. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking this. He and Darla are having conversation. She comes over and she has a helmet for Blue. Blue is going to try and learn to ride a bike. We see Darla take Blue out by herself in, I think, her neighborhood. She takes, Blue out, and she's holding on to the bike like we all do. I taught my great nephew this, how to ride a bike and how to swing. But I don't want to toot my own horn on this, okay? All in one summer, but yeah, anyway. Well, it doesn't go well. He falls a couple of times, and then that third time when they fall, that's it. They quit. They giving up. They're giving up. And you can force them to come back and ride that bike. We know that. She could have said, when Blue started walking off, she could have said, "Get your a-hole back here." Not a-hole. She probably wouldn't have said a-hole, but she might have said, "Get your ass." You know what I'm saying? Get back here and get on this bike and do this thing. She could have. But she let him take that angst and go on home. She packed him up and took him on back. Now, Ralph Angel had already been to see Aunt Vi. He had already gone to help out with the situation with Aunt Vi, as well as gone to the two city council meetings that everybody had that day, because there was going to be a vote. So he's already had a very, very full day. When she comes over and picks Blue up, Ralph Angel is very nice. He is very civil with her. Vi don't speak a word. Don't crack her lips to Darla. It's something she's gotten used to. But she packed that bike up. She packed her baby up, and she took him back to his daddy. Okay, and she told her that his daddy what was going on. And we can see that this is going to be a moment. Of course, Blue goes on inside. He think he finna get on his game, play with Kenya. This whole ordeal is over. This whole nonsense about me learning how to ride a bike is over. And Ralph Angel calls him back out and lets him know what we don't do is give up. We don't quit. And he, gets him all suited and booted up. Gonna take him out for a ride. And Blue was like, this is fine. That's fine. That's fine. Y'all want me to get on this bike, but let's be clear. Don't let go of this seat, because I will fall. I'm trying to let y'all know that I'm not cut out for ride. Everybody not meant to ride a bike. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, I don't even really want to do this. But if we gonna do this, y'all can't let go. Mommy needs to hold on too. So that's the moment we see. We see Ralph Angel, and we see Darla, and we see little Blue on this bike. And he's getting big. He's getting tall. But in this moment, I just feel like, oh, we're back. We're back to early part of season 2 when things were good. Just for a moment, you guys. It was a wonderful, wonderful moment where they held on. And he kind of stumbled, and his dad said, "You got to trust us. You got to trust us that we won't let go of you." Oh, my. Child, when I tell y'all that beautiful photo of them holding that bike and then letting go and then celebrating him and rooting and rooting and rooting. And then in that moment of happiness, Ralph Angel hugged Darla. I was like, oh, let's just be together. Y'all can do this. Y'all are capable. Y'all don't have to buy into this stereotype of baby mama, baby daddy, and all this stuff. Let's do this. They sit on the porch while Blue riding around in the front yard, and they talk, and he tells them, she said, well, why don't we do 50-50? And he said, split it down the middle. And she said, yeah. He said, okay. You know, it was just that's all we got to do. That's it. That's all we got to do. That's it. That's the height and the breadth of communicating and sacrificing and coming together for the baby. All right. And then he starts telling her about how when his probation is over, when he gets off parole, he want to take Blue up the coast. I thought for a moment he was going to ask her if she would come, but these are just my hopes and dreams for little Blue, that he would have his mama and his daddy together. I'm not investing that into the show because I know that that could possibly not happen. What makes me more happier more than them getting back together? What is more important for me is the fact that they coming together for Blue. You guys know I have said this all along, and I'm happy about this. Okay. So that was a really good moment, and I have to just tell y'all that Coffee Cerebro has never looked finer than he has in this episode. Cooperation and quiet confidence. Yeah, yeah, Coffee. That'll get you some. I digress. Okay. Let's talk about Micah real quick. He's at school and he walks up and to KJ, he's putting some photos down. You know, they kind of like all work on like a paper or a little something at the school, and he's cold, you know, to Micah. And he kind of is taking out his frustration with everything that's going on, with the fact that they're kind of disbanded, Aunt's at home on house arrest. And Micah kind of represents the man. I mean, he's not a white man, we know that, but he has privilege, okay? And he is lighter. And I mean, I hate to say it like that, but he's a target. He's a safe target to rage against. And he basically hold Micah completely responsible, not for the fire. He doesn't hold him responsible for that. He holds him responsible for having resources when Aunt does not. And that's not fair. And that's not right. He does make a valid point that Micah is so busy taking pictures that he's not in them. And it kind of lends itself to what Nova was saying last week about you got to get organized, you know what I'm saying? And you want to make a difference, you have to find a more organized way of doing it. And so we do get a chance to see him. We see him looking online, doing some research about organizing rallies and protests and that type of thing. In the meantime, he kind of has it out with his mom a little bit, because after he talks to KJ, he tells his mom that he's going to go over and see Aunt, and she tells him, no, stay away from them. I told you, you know, you want to keep your name out and from around this situation. And you know, he tells her, no, that's not right. And he, you know, sort of understands. And now I get it too, what KJ was saying about having the resources and the means. Like, I don't think that all is supposed to be at Micah's doorstep. But when his mom, he tells his mom after she tells him no, and he tells her, no, he needs somebody. He needs people to come see him. Like, I'm not going to just dip out on him. And he told her, you know, if it was me in this situation, you would expose each and every one of them to take the shine off of me. And she was like, I would not. And he was like, of course you would. Of course you would. And we know that the old Charlie would have made quick work of this situation if it was Micah. So I'm proud of Micah. Micah's coming into his own. I like what I'm seeing with Micah. And I hope it stays positive. I hope he finds some balance, because it's very easy to take the opinions of others and project it onto yourself. Or when they project it onto you, you take that thing on and it becomes this two-headed monster and gets out of control. You know, he could have took that and decided he was going to go down and do something else and go off half-cocked, or do some not so positive things. This conversation that he had with KJ, but he seems like he's focusing it Okay, and I think being a part of um, the city council decision and just every step of the way, their family coming together this episode. We see all of the borderlines come together this episode. I think that is part of the reason why he's able to stay just a little bit more focused. And it's a lesson for us all about keeping each other close, communicating, not having this grief or shame about what's going on with us individually, because all of us can help one another, but we've got to come together in order to do that. So now let's talk about Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi is doing the seating, and the seating's got to get done, and certain things got to get done because they going to Morocco for they honeymoon. And I was like, girl, if you slip and fall, I will help you up. But I promise you, I'm gonna lift Hollywood right up out of your pocket, baby, and tuck him so deep down in my bosom. He's a beautiful man. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. And I'm not just talking about physically, the guy that plays Hollywood. I am talking about spiritually. Hollywood is everything your girl Miss Honey want for Christmas. I just want a thoughtful, kind man. That's all. That's all. I mean, y'all, that's like I asked for a unicorn. Anywho, Vi's doing the seating chart, and Charlie is there, and Nova is there, and she's talking about the seating chart. And Charlie was like, "Well, you know what I'm saying, you trying to put me over here at this table right here. I'm gonna need one more seat." And she was like, I was like, okay, what you gonna do with that extra seat, Charlie? And Charlie was like, I'm just saying I might bring somebody. And she looks at Nova. Nova, what about you, girl? What you got? And she was like, I'll be by myself. She was like, well, what about this man you've been cheesing about? And Nova was like, I don't need no man to prop me up. And she was like, okay. She look at Charlie, she looking Nova. Nova looking at Charlie, Charlie looking at Nova, and looking at Aunt Vi. Aunt Vi was like, what the hell? What's going on here? What's happening? And Charlie's like, never mind, don't worry about it. Just don't even think about it. And she said, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's talk about this thing. Y'all been acting all formal and delicate with each other for a minute now. What the heck is going on? You know, she just calls them out. And Nova tells it. I was messing around with Remy for a minute, but it's over now. It's done. I was like, first of all, she dings them both. Nova got the brunt of it, and well, she should have. But she tell Charlie, you walk around here acting like you okay with the fact that your sister is dating somebody you used to run around with. And Nova, you all right with picking through Charlie's trash? Huh? You all right with going through her garbage cans for a man? Huh? You know, tell her you done wrote this book about your daddy, this little snippet about your daddy. Now this. She said, you all kinds of extra right now, Nova. And Nova said, you ain't never did nothing you regret and wanted to change it, wanted to undo it. And Vi stung for a moment. It's just a brief moment. But she stung. She was like, you know what? Let me get my stuff. I need to go down here and talk to some people about some things. I got these pies to get done. I don't have time for all this. Excuse me that you too grown to take a little advice from your TT. It was a really, really good moment. Later we see Aunt Vi moving and shaking. She got these pies going. I mean, the orders are doubling. She don't just have Rhonda. She got like 3 other people in the kitchen working. This her own kitchen with commercial grade stoves and everything. Aunt Vi got racks. She got a full on business going on her. Okay, it's working good, and she is gonna leave that, and she's gonna go down to this city council meeting, and she's gonna see what they talking about down there. But she goes down on the floor. I got sharp pain in my chest. Rhonda comes over, and another lady comes over, and they talking to her, and they thinking any moment, like me, she's gonna say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I just had a moment. I just gotta breathe. Rhonda's helping her, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And she realizes when Aunt Vi cannot communicate back, when it is something that has stopped Aunt Vi's lips from moving, that we must go to the hospital immediately. And so that was a moment. Later on, we see Aunt Vi in her bed in Hollywood sitting down next to her, and we see all of the borderline children and Micah, okay, sitting around the bed, gathered around the bed, and Aunt Vi is stripped bare. She does have her makeup on, but she don't have her unit on, and her head not tied up. And and this is a moment that they show Aunt Vi in fragility. They show her in rawness. They show her as a woman of a certain age. It is easy to forget that Aunt Vi, you know, is an older woman. But when you see her like this, you see her on her sick bed, you start to realize how easy it is to take for granted older people who keep it moving, who keep it going, who keep it positive, who keep it shaking, who's always encouraging you and lifting you up and doing for you and making the pies and Thanksgiving dinner and taking the kids and picking them up, and you know what I'm saying, and just boom, 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 boom. But when you stop for a minute in this moment, just really look, just really focus. Aunt Vi is an older woman and she need help. She needs y'all to pay attention. Okay? That's what this moment is about. Look at her. Really look at her and see her. Well, she tells them that she was diagnosed with ru, rumentus. Um, anyway, it's this swelling around the liver, and it's manageable. Of course, Charlie's like, is it, can we cure it? Can we fix it? Do we need to get a specialist? What do we need to do? Charlie's the fixer. And Ralph Angel's like, why didn't you tell us? You need to let us know what's happening. And everybody kind of, when she says it, this is fixable, kind of relaxes a little bit, but Hollywood lets them know we brought you here for a reason. I called us all here together for another reason. Okay? Because it's time for Vi to tell it all. Now Nova knows, but nobody else knows. And Vi says, I also have lupus. And when she says that, it's like the air is sucked out of the room. Okay. This is a moment where they realize, okay, just like daddy, go, 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 go. You're sick in the body. You're not telling anybody. We can't have this. Ralph Angel takes it more personally than anyone, because when Nova shared with him about what his dad went through the day he thought about taking his own life, Ernest Bordelon, he's fearful now of this with Aunt Vi. Okay. Charlie is feeling some type of way. Nova's had a moment to process it all, and Hollywood doesn't jump in. Hollywood lets them have, each and every one of them have a moment with this news, because it's big. Okay, she is the matriarch of the family, and Micah especially touches her leg and she says, I'm okay, baby. And it's a moment because she is important to each and every one of them. Generationally, Micah realizing that she is in crisis and fearing losing her is a moment, because so many kids are not connected with the family. And he has an opportunity. His mom moving down there and bringing him along against his will has changed this boy. It has changed his life. It has brought him out of the world and into the family, and just how important he lets Aunt Vi knows that she is to his life and his future was huge. Like, anyway, it's a silly thing to get emotional over. But I think about the death of one person. It's horrible, that their dad died. But everything bad that happens to you in life ain't bad for you. Like I said, it brought Charlie back. It brought Micah in. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to bring the Borderline kids together if they would allow it. And this is something that this conversation that Aunt Vi is having with them. Ralph Angel loses it. He just tells her, you have to tell us. You have to let us know. We have to know how we can help you and when we should help you and how to reach out. And she was like, all I can think about is getting these pies. I'm here in this bed and I need to get these pies. And they say, no, you're going to rest. We'll go handle the pies. And we see the kids, the siblings go and start to help back at the kitchen with the pies. And that's when Romero comes over and he's in there to pitch in, and he has wonderful conversation. He gets to meet Ralph Angel and Nova, and he has a really cute moment with Charlie when they take the pies out to the truck. He invites her to dinner. It's a nice moment. I could see him being a good fit into the family. And this is also when we get to see Ralph Angel say she's just like daddy, going through all this and keeping it to herself. And he doesn't like that. Like I said, when you quiet the anger down, you become a lot more aware of your surroundings and things that are going on with the people that you love. Later on, we say, ain't that deal with having told the family, and then this new crisis, no matter how small, we see her still kind of bare and in a real raw, vulnerable state, and she's in the tub, and Hollywood is sitting on the side of the tub, and he's giving her a bath. And I lost it. I mean, I don't know. It's such a beautiful scene. It's the reason why we love this show. And she, he's letting, first of all, her skin is flawless. Skin freaking flawless. Okay. She reaches up just to grab his hand and to just connect onto him a little bit more in this moment. You know what I'm saying? She love this man. I love this man. Like, oh my gosh. To have somebody stand by you like that is silver and gold. It's priceless. It's priceless. It's more priceless now in 2018 than ever. And then she grabs his hand and puts her face on it and kisses his hand. You guys, that moment of her cocoa brown against his dark chocolate, I was like, Ava, girl, oh, you know how to pull at Miss Honey's heartstrings. You really do, girl. This is why I ain't gonna quit you, Ava. This is the main reason why I'm not gonna quit you, girl. Talk about this city council decision. First of all, everybody's kind of, sitting on their own. Ralph Angel and Charlie sit together. Of course, Aunt Vi is back in the kitchen. We know that now. Remy is sitting over in the middle of all the farmers. Nova comes in. This is after Aunt Vi done pulled her coattail by digging through Charlie's trash, and she sits away from Ralph Angel and Charlie. And when Ralph Angel notices it and mentions it to Charlie, Charlie was like, it's a long story. We don't need to talk about all that right now. They don't need to bring Ralph Angel in on sister's business, okay? Because Ralph Angel got to work with Remy. And we want Remy to work with Ralph Angel. No matter what's going on with Remy personally, he know the land and he know the agriculture, okay? So everybody just need to go to their own corners, all right? So it starts. And of course, the man is up there and he's a shucking and a jiving, and we're going to bring jobs and businesses. And he going to read a couple of 2-3 things from testimonials from Alabama and all of these other places where they done built prisons. And people start to chime in here and there. Remy chimes in. It's a valid point. He does it eloquently. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And the another one of the farmer chimes in. And Ralph Angel is telling Nova, go on, say something. Come on, stand up. People are saying people need to stand up and talk. One white guy stands up and says, he lost his job at the plant. He's glad about the penitentiary coming because it's going to get him another job. He's for it. Of course. Of course you're for it. I mean, anyway. And Charlie is feeling less than confident in this moment. She does not, she knows that how farmers feel about her, and she knows that they know the Landrys are there, the sister and the brother, and she just is like, I messed all of this up. I messed all of this up. And so when the black farmer speaks out, the dark skinned one, he speaks out. He speaks in truth. He speaks confidently, and the people clapping. Charlie chimes in and asks a question, and the black farmer says, yeah, okay, whatever. And somebody in the back saying, you traitor. So she sucks it up and she says something else. And they get her. And he stands up, and in front of the council, he calls Charlie out, calls her to task right there in front. Now, I didn't like that. I didn't like that because I feel like as a community, we talk about it all together. We're not going to do this in front of the white folks, right? But I was glad he did. I was glad he did it because everybody there could bear witness to Charlie rising up out of what she could have considered to be the ashes and laying waste. When I tell you Charlie breathed fire and burnt, okay, eyebrows and edges and the tips of folks' noses and ears off. She got them all together. Okay, she got the penitentiary man together. She showed the people that, this is why she did it. This was ultimately the intent of her heart. She also let them know all of the research she had done about how the prison pays barely, if not less than minimum wage, barely the minimum, and how this idea that the businesses and stuff are all going to be for them, and they were going to be able to count the prisoners as community members even though they have absolutely no vote whatsoever. How this prison really only benefited the powerful people in charge, the politician. It had nothing to do with the community. At the end, I mean, we're just looking at everybody's face as she is dinging this guy and zinging this guy with facts and figures and receipts. This is what Charlie does. Charlie is a force to be Mickey freaky reckoned with. Make no mistake about it. Okay, and you can see the look on Remy's face. I bet you feel like the dumbest ass in the barn right now, Remy. Okay, because you threw her away. You trashed her. Okay, and made her feel so little and so small. This conversation that he had with her about, doing the right thing and all this stuff. Now you see. Now you see. I needed you to help me. I didn't need you to lead me by my nose. And now you done mucked all that up. Yeah. That's for you, Remy. Jackass. This is the reason why we see Nova hugging Ralph, Angel, and Charlie, because after everything was said and done, the decision was made. She is now sitting back with her siblings, and she is standing strong with her siblings. We see people stand up after Charlie is talking, had this conversation, and she is laid waste. We see the clap. Everybody got to give it to her. Remy, the farmers, everybody got to give it to her. The girl know her stuff. Even with all of that, And I stand corrected, I guess. I don't know. I'm still not sure. I'm not sure how y'all are sure that this Landry sister is on Charlie's team. She don't really seem like she much help at all, in my opinion. And if you ain't no help, then that makes you a what? Hindrance. She gonna drop the name of this councilman Ward for what? To what end? To bring dramatics? To create a sort of drum roll? Evidently this is 3-3, 3-4 and 3 against in the council vote. It's a moment, this Ward lady councilman, she's supposed to break the tie. She breaks at 4. Okay, and everybody is devastated. Charlie is devastated. This is when she goes home and Prosper calls his daughter and tells his daughter that it's time that she come get him and see about him. Okay, because he's realizing this prison is coming and there's nothing I can do about it. Charlie goes into her room and sits on the side of the bed and drops her shoulders. She's tired. She's weary. She's weak and she is worn. Okay, but she gonna get her rest. She gonna get her rest. She's gonna reflect fresh and she's gonna replenish and she gonna get back to war. But this go round, she gonna have all her family in place. I can see the borderlines coming together. I see what's going on, Ava. And I don't know if you bringing us to this point just in time to come to the end of the season. If you brought us through all this fool-la-la to bring us to the end, to the cusp, to the edge, and then you just gonna leave us there till next season. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna do like Ernest Bordelon and have hope and faith that you're gonna come together with this episode, with this family. That this family gonna come together and we gonna do some damage. We're gonna do some damage to the Landry legacy. Okay, to the wickedness that's going on in this world. All right. Okay, you guys, that is Queen Sugar. I know we went on a little long this episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Y'all put it down below. Y'all tell me what y'all think about Charlie and Romero. What do y'all think about this whole prison decision? What do y'all think about the Landry sister? Like, what the hell? What the hell? It was a good moment when Charlie got her thank you from the young lady at the decision at the courthouse when they were doing the vote. It was a split day, so they came in and had the conversation. They went home, talked about Aunt Vi, and then came back to hear the vote, which is when Nova was sitting with them, and to see the borderline siblings all together like that was a moment. What did you guys think about that? What do you guys think about Ralph, Angel, and Darla? Y'all let me know. What about Micah? He's going to be a full-on activist now. Y'all tell me. Let's talk about it down below. Until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah!